Hey everyone, so my name is Rodri. I'm an AI and automation engineer, and I read something online that said you can be the best at what you do, but if nobody knows you, then you don't exist. And so that's what I'm doing right now. I'm going to promote myself shamelessly in this video on why I'm the best AI and automation engineer for your business. So first off, a brief introduction about me, which is my story. So I came from a civil engineering background. So I'm a graduate of Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering, major in structural engineering, and then eventually I realized that it isn't for me. And then I ventured into different roles. I was a prior writer, and then I started businesses and so on and so forth. Till eventually I took a leap of faith while I was still in college. I took on courses, I took on certifications, I did projects, I did everything that I could to jump ship to the role that I was taking on at that time, which is a data analyst. Because the story here is that I looked up how to be a data analyst in Google, and eventually all the things listed there, I just did everything about them. And a few months later, I became an analyst. So I was able to have a job as an analyst, and then I started side hustles, YouTube automations, digital products, funnels, ads, websites, and so on and so forth, essentially being better. And then eventually, through the course of those trials and errors, all of the things that I've tried, digital products, I was creating content on different kinds of platforms, and essentially I reached a bottleneck where I can't do this alone, but I have no budget to hire help. And I said to myself, can I automate this? That's what I did. Eventually, I dug deep. One such issue is that I was creating YouTube content, YouTube automation, and I found that I could automate, and I was creating recap videos, if you know what I mean. And those recap videos, they took so much time out of me per day. I was editing at midnight, 3 a.m., and almost every day just so that I could continuously publish videos every day or every. And then I said to myself, maybe I could create something. That was my first ever AI project. I created an AI video processing system, and I learned all of the bits and bobs of AI engineering over the course of the creation of that project, until eventually I went on. I tried a few more other things till I made a digital product business, and I was present, I think, around 3 to 5 social platforms. And I can't create content continuously, and I cannot publish content all at the same time because I'm just one man. That's where I discovered automation. And eventually, everything just snowballed. I became an AI and automation engineer, and it's what I do now, and I really like it. And that's my story. And now these are the credentials and the certifications that I got over the course of me studying for the data analyst role as well as AI. And as you can see, I studied SQL, Python, AI fundamentals. I studied, so first off, this is from Data Camp. So I took courses, and then I took on their certifications, and I passed. And it was all in one take. So this one is AI engineer for data scientist associate. And then this is SQL associate, though I don't know if it is SQL or SQL, but well, I prefer SQL. Then we have Python data associate and data literacy, and then associate data analyst. And then last one is we have AI fundamentals. And these are just the technical certifications that I have, but I have a lot more on this. So I have a few more, but these are the major ones where that is really relevant in terms of my space. But I have Google courses like the digital marketing, and then I have other forms of courses, projects, as well as certifications on different institutions. But these are the ones that I just posted because they're the most relevant. And then we have are the products that I've built. So these are the things I built and shipped with love. With love. So first off, it's Freelance Desk. And Freelance Desk is a Chrome extension. It is offline first, and there's no subscription. So it replaces $200 to $400 per year in SaaS subscriptions. And what it does is you create professional documents in under 2 minutes. You have invoice, proposal, contract, NDA, and code. Then you also have 45 templates. You could have brand kit, and then it's a free tier for 15 documents and 3 template types. But so if you want to try it out, go to freelance desk that online, or you could go to the link or my link, which is Rodri symbol. Go to products, which is this one, and you'll find it there. Next, we have my favorite, which is Locked In Cafe. So Locked In Cafe is something that I use daily. If you're working online or in front of a computer and all of a sudden process is running, something is happening, say a video is rendering, so you don't know what to do at that time, but you don't want to doom scroll. However, unconsciously, we have this axe where you click new tab, and then what's happening is you go to Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, or whatever, and eventually you doom scrolled and you didn't realize your focus was broken, your attention was taken from it, either from you. And essentially, what Locked In Cafe does is it stops that. So it's like a speed bump. So if you type facebook.com on the block list tab here, well, we cannot exactly see it here, but if you download it on the Chrome extension, you'll see a block list tab. And that block list tab, you enter the sites. So facebook.com, instagram.com, and then you have, say, threads.com, tiktok.com. So essentially everything that is harming your work, so it would block them for you. And the great thing about here is that you could choose to go forward. So it's not a full block list because you don't exactly want to not want to work. A reflective moment there where you could say, I want to push forward. You just type the reason why and you could say, I've done work for an hour. That's a good thing because you did focus work for an hour and you deserve to take a break. So a Locked In Cafe doesn't essentially lock everything out. So that's why I really like it. I've been using it for a few weeks already and it's just a game changer in terms of my focus. So I built it for me. However, I realized that people could utilize this and so I pushed it online. And so this is free. Go to the Chrome Web Store, search Locked In Cafe, and you'll be able to find it there. Next is, these are my personal projects. So this one is called Price Flow. So it's essentially a full stack SaaS for short-term rental hosts. So we won't exactly dive deep too much here, but because it's essentially just a SaaS for short-term rental businesses. Then we have here one of my favorites as well, which is $1 Million Chicken. So it's a gamified personal race tracker, and each chicken represents an income stream, active or passive, which are my income streams. And so it's a race toward 1M. So it's like really, really a good one for me. So it's pretty fun because I'm able to see progress at the side. So those are the products that I've created. And also I have open source projects as well. So one of those is called Law Match. So it's a free open source tool for Filipinos to find the law that protects them. So how it works is we describe your legal problem in plain language and get matched to the exact statute and not a hallucinated summary. So this is live on Hugging Face. You could try it out there, but let's work on it. So this is Law Match, and essentially what it does is you pick a topic like employment, housing, family, or scams. Then you answer a few simple questions about what happened. We show you the law, the section number, and also what to do next. And this is free. It's live on Hugging Face. After products is what Google says about me. So I typed in a Rodri symbol AI automation, and this is essentially what it said. Rodri symbol is an AI and automation engineer based in the Philippines who specializes in building AI agents, custom workflows, and automated business infrastructure. You can learn more about his professional background and services directly on Rodri symbol official website. So as you can see, my core expertise and focus areas are AI agents and infrastructure, workflow automation, and reliable AI. So not just evals, okay? It's reliable AI because I understand how everything works. As you can see from my notes here, I'm studying machine learning foundations, or rather mathematical foundations for machine learning. Then I also have AI engineering here, over here. And I'm doing this every day so that I would be able to provide better value, better services to the people that I work with. And moving forward, here's the reason why I'm the best. And it's because I understand tech and business. I understand tech and business because tech is what I do. Business is because at the side, I am an entrepreneur. So a bit more context of my story. When I was young, I started different businesses. So it's like an unconscious thing for me to just start a business, a side hustle, whether that's a physical or a digital one. So I understand tech and business and I am able to be both. and be able to tell you, so this is the best of it, or this is the tech that we would use, this is the pros, this is the cons, this is what we should be utilizing instead of this particular tool. I'd be able to tell you that this specific tool, it could not be maintained for say a few years, and what would happen if most of our process are built upon there? What would you do then at the third year mark where it broke because it's not maintained anymore? So you would rely on this and that, and essentially just everything related about tech. So I understand tech and business, and that's the reason, well, one of the reasons why I'm the best. Before I show you how I work, here are like my takes on implementing or redesigning AI and integrating AI to your business, or specifically AI and automation. So as you can see, AI and automation that 90% of gurus online won't tell you, which is, and this is just what I have experienced on the people that I work with, as well as my time spent in this space. On my take is that for internal operations, you automate as much as humanly possible. Build AI systems, AI and automation systems for your team to eliminate repetitive tasks. However, if it is customer facing, you have to be careful because you do not want to carelessly create an AI bot on customer touch points unless you have a proven recurring pain point in a rock solid system. Because I have seen certain videos on agency owners where they were utilizing AI bots, AI agents to respond to customer emails, and then certain things happened and it destroyed their brand. So you don't want that to happen. Now, human in the loop is good on these cases, but really on my case, on my take, it's if you have a recurring pain point and a rock solid system. Like say for instance, user is asking on say a product, is this a best fit for me? And if that's just an FAQ, we could utilize an AI agent for that to be able to respond to the queries much more faster compared to just giving everything to the AI. So again, for internal operations, you automate as much as humanly possible. You build AI and automation systems for your team to eliminate repetitive tasks. And then for external customer facing, again, just be careful. Do not carelessly create an AI bot on customer touch points because, well, customers, clients, they're the, well, I believe you already know. So don't buy into the hype that AI magically solves every customer interaction on day one. So real engineering takes strategy, grounding, and time. And moving forward, we have, so this is my three-tier AI automation framework. So essentially what this does is it allows you to understand where you're at, whether you're at AI tools, AI automation, or AI native. Now, the case is, for me, when I go into a business, what I do is, of course, we talk, we do a discovery, we understand how the business could be redesigned to operate using AI and automation to make it better, to make it more efficient, to save more time, to save money, to scale, and so on and so forth. If you're already using AI and say you're using ChatGPT, so those are AI tools. And if you're already using that and a huge chunk of your workflow is based from those tools, if you're creating maybe images, if you're creating product descriptions and so on and so forth, maybe instead of just working and implementing this or this, you could move here. If AI tools already solve the problem, if it already works, you have just for a $20 subscription, or even if you're able to utilize it really well, you don't even need to subscribe. So most teams already use GPT or Claude, but are they using them effectively? So it's that it. Are they using them effectively? So we have some certain settings, configurations, and parameters, as well as you could there are some certain features of different providers. Say, for instance, we have Gems and Gemini. Then for Claude, we have Claude Design, we have Claude Code. Then for ChatGPT, we have custom GPTs, we have projects, and so on and so forth. So it's different. Each provider has something that they have to offer. However, again, we have to look at the business. Do you actually need automation yet, or do you just need to optimize how your team uses existing AI tools? If you don't have fragmented processes or high volume bottlenecks, you should stop here and save your money. Because if you're going to go here, you'd spend money on talent, you'd spend money on infrastructure, you'd spend money on, of course, time because the talent has to build this. You have to spend money on the cloud. You have to as well factor in monitoring, maintenance, improvement, and so on and so forth. So if the bulk of your workflow and you think that you could just optimize your AI tools, then you should just stick here. And if you have high volume bottlenecks or fragmented processes and you really want to scale, let's go to AI and automation. So if you have clear repeating pain points, we move to tier 2. So this is where we wire systems together using platforms like Make, Zapier, or a self-hosted N8N or N8N cloud. And again, the catch. So it requires developer knowledge like APIs, JavaScript, Python, databases, token refresh, logic, and you cannot just hire a random freelancer to do it, right? But of course, there are people that are really talented in this space where they could probably do this. Because, say for instance, let me give you an example. So, say you're pulling Slack alerts and sending them to Telegram. Forgive me for my handwriting. So essentially, this is the example here. You're pulling Slack alerts and sending them to Telegram. So the flow there would be a Slack node, and then we pull data from Slack, and then we send it to Telegram. So it's just a two node in a way in N8N or whether that's in Zapier or in Make. However, if this is just the thing that you do, it's not really ideal for a production use case because for one, what if there were some errors? What if there were some certain things like not good data? Yeah, so what if a particular data wasn't really cleaned, it wasn't exactly as good as and or rather expected to be, then it could fail. So we have to include error handling. Like say for instance, once we pull data in Slack, there could be a branch here where if there's an error, what would happen is it would send an email. So say here a Gmail node, and it just highlights all of the emails. Rather, it highlights the problem that it encountered. Because if you have built, the automation in N8N or any other platform, it would stay there because it will run continuously over 24 hours. It's in the cloud. However, if something failed, how would you know if it failed? So that's the thing. You have to handle error handling, data practices. That's why it's really hard to just find someone and knows most of the practices of software development because it's really a lot. And there's also agentic AI, you have RAGs, you have parameters, configurations. Do they understand the difference between a higher temperature or lower temperature or from caching, and so on and so forth. And so if you think you could invest on talent, on infrastructure, and you really want to integrate AI and automation in your business, then automation is the one for you. And my favorite part, which is AI native. So this is the full shebang. The full shebang. So we turn your company into an AI first operating machine with custom agents, automated pipelines, and a main OS system, and so on and so forth. Essentially everything that you could think about in terms of AI. But this is the part where it's really hard because it requires a team. In a way, it requires a team because you have to handle the full database, front end, back end, APIs, then AI, the AI layer and everything, and evaluation, frameworks, observability, monitoring, and a bunch. But that's my 3-tier and automation framework. And this is also one of the reasons why I'm the best AI and automation engineer that you could hire for your business because again, I understand tech and business. So we could sit down, have a talk. We could highlight, what it is that you really need. What are the tools that we need? What are the pros and cons? Should we just use phase 1 for AI tools, phase 2 AI and automation? Then we have a phase 3, which is AI native, where you'd have the full AI and automation integrated into your business. And then from there, we create roadmaps. I create you system diagrams, and then architectural flows, error handling, then access, credentials, and so on and so forth. And if you want me to be your AI and automation engineer for your business, send me an email at rodri@rodrisymbol.com, or you could go to my website and just click get in touch, and I'll get back to you as fast as I can. So that's it for me for this video, and I hope you enjoyed despite me talking. And I hope this video became of help, and I'll see you in the next ones. Ciao.